Thank you, Javon. Hello, everyone. My name is Jeremiah Cortez. I'm an international student advisor over at the Office of International Students and Scholars. I'm very excited to have you all here with me today. So let's get into it. Welcome, my global gauchos. So let's go over the agenda for today. So today we're going to be talking about the overview of OISS, how we provide services to students, a little information about our student population, some important immigration documents that you guys should consider when you're getting prepared for your arrival here to UCSB, some tips for travel because it's a little complicated, not too complicated. Don't worry, we're going to get through it. Some international student requirements, some information about online courses. You guys do have the ability to take online courses, but there are some guidelines, so we will be going over that. The basics of maintaining status and work authorizations, and then we'll be leading a Q&A towards the end. All right, so let's go over the overview of OISS. So the Office of International Students and Scholars provides supports for students, scholars, professors, and employees coming to UCSB to either get their degree, teach, or work for the campus. Our office provides one-on-one immigration-related advising and recommendations towards any of your work authorization plans or any of your study plans here on campus. And we do collaborate with other campus departments, such as this event today. We are doing our Welcome With You guys to help provide prospective trainings towards just any of the general experiences that you guys are going to have here on campus. All right. So, with our student population, we do represent 103 countries. Uh, this data is from actually to 2025. We do need to update this, but currently 103 countries, and our top 10 countries are China, India, South Korea, Taiwan, United Kingdom, Japan, Spain, Brazil, Turkey, and Germany. But we are hoping to add more countries to our list. So if you guys know anyone who is interested in coming to UCSB, please let them know to come our way. So we do have, again, this is as of 2025, but 4,400 total international students, with some top majors here on campus being economics, computer science. We're not going to go through it, but so on and so forth. These are some of the majors available to you guys, but we definitely do have some more for you guys. Let's hop on into more of the meat and potatoes of our office, though. So, when you guys are getting prepared for your visa interviews, or even when you're coming here to the States to study, I do want to go ahead and clear up a misconception. Your legal status is not based off of your visa. The visa is a document only needed for entry into the US. So, your most important documents, whether you're an F1 or a J1 student, is going to be either your I-20 or your DS 2019. These documents, we can go ahead and assist you with getting these documents set up so that when you do have your visa appointment, you'll be prepared. So those will be your main documents. Again, your visa is not what ties your legal status to staying in the US. It will actually be your I-20, your DS 2019. You'll be able to see your program dates on your document. And I do want to let you guys know if you do ever get close to your program end date, but you do still have some classes or academic requirements to complete, go ahead and just connect with us. We are always down to extend your records for academic reasons. You definitely we will make sure that you guys have enough time to complete your programs while you're here. The Student Exchange and Visitor Information System, SEVIS, as we call it, that is the system where we will be working with you guys for maintaining your student records, your I-20 and your DS 2019. That will also be the system that we're going to be utilizing whenever we're getting you guys prepared for your work authorization, your CPT, your OPT, or your academic training. That will all be based off of whatever visa type you're on. Lastly, for you guys, this is one document. We're just going to clear it real quick. It's the I-94. So the I-94, all of you will have an I-94 once you do enter the US. That is just a snapshot of your entry, and that lets us know and the government know exactly what visa type you're on. As you know, there's multiple visa types. We do have some students that sometimes re-enter on a B2 visa. That's a tourist visa. We want to make sure that you're always coming into the US on your F1 or your J1, whatever your student visa is. That way we are making sure that you are good to go for the entirety of study here on campus. Okay, so those tips for travel, as we mentioned, we're just going to go over this briefly, but you two have a couple options for getting to UCSB. I would say that the closest would be the Santa Barbara Airport. If you land there, you're pretty much here. The airport is directly off campus. The only thing that you're going to need to coordinate is just getting on the metro. You can also do an Uber or Lyft, but that is just a 10-minute drive directly to your dorm. So that would be the easiest. But for those of you that will be flying in through LA or Burbank, you have a couple options. For those of you coming in from LA or Burbank, I would say the Santa Barbara Airbus would be your best bet. That will get you pretty much the majority of the way to campus. From there, you're just going to need to coordinate with an Uber, Lyft, or taxi. But for those of you that are not, you would not like to ride on the bus, you'd rather do something like a train travel, you could do the Amtrak Pacific Surfliner. That will get you pretty much to Goleta. From there, again, you're just going to need to patch the rest of the ride with either Uber or Lyft. All right. So for those of you that are going to be joining us, once you do get to campus, this is the most important thing that you need to take care of. So we're going to need to activate your student records, whether you're on F1 or J1. We're going to need to just receive your arrival documents. So that I-94 that we mentioned earlier, your snapshot, we're just going to need to verify that information to make sure that you came in on the correct visa type. And the easiest, but also most important, is reporting your local address. We will need that information we would like to have it at least within 5 days of you guys getting to campus, but we do have at least 30 days to get that information in. It is imperative that you provide those documents. Otherwise, your record will terminate and we'll have to create another one. It does require exit and reentry. It could be a very big headache. This is a very easy step. So I just ask all of you when you do get to campus. It'll also be on your email for your DS 2019, your I-20. We'll include that there, but make sure that you get that check-in done. So once you're on campus, you're going to be a student. For this is primarily a student seminar, so we won't go over the scholar or the professor requirements. We're just going to mainly take care of the student requirements. So very straightforward, very easy. What you guys need to do is just maintain your visa, your I-20 status, and by doing that, you'll just be maintaining academic curriculum. We ask undergraduate students, or we don't ask, undergraduate students need to study at a minimum of 12 units, while graduate students need to study at least 8 units for their minimum unit requirement. In your first year, if you guys do have a little bit of struggle getting used to the US curriculum, definitely connect with us. Within your first year, your first quarter here on campus, we can apply for our academic reduced course load to help you guys adjust to the US curriculum. So you will have that option. Also, you can also drop down below the unit minimum in your very last quarter if you need less than 12 units or 8 units to graduate. So the online courses, what we do want to point out for today is that the U.S. government has issued you the student visa so that you can study here on campus. It's not you primarily used for online courses, but you do have the option to take at least one online course to have that count towards your full-time enrollment each quarter. In the summer, you can go over that limit. It's a little bit different in the summer just because a minimum unit requirement for undergraduate students is 6 units, while for graduate students, it's 4 units. So during that time, I would say is the best time to take online courses if that's what you're interested in. Just remember, you will need to have at least over 50% of your courses here on campus in person. It's pretty easy to do in the summer since, again, it's only 6 units. That's about one class here on campus and one online class. You've already satisfied the minimum requirement. In that situation, you could take more than one online class. But just in that situation, for those of you that do have questions about that, though, just go ahead and connect with me or another international advisor in our office, and we can definitely walk you through what you qualify for in terms of online courses. So maintaining status, as we mentioned earlier, very simple for international students. We just need to make sure that you're maintaining your full course of study. And just some information for travel. So you guys do have the ability to travel while you're here in the country. You won't need a travel signature, but if you ever want to travel overseas, we just ask that you meet with us. We're going to get you some travel validation. Travel validation is good for 1 year, but it is very important that before you depart and re-enter on your vacation that you do have that travel signature. So that's something important to keep in mind. Also, in California, marijuana is legal, but it is illegal for our F1 J1 visa holders. You guys are under federal law. You guys do need to comply with federal law. You guys can consume alcohol, but you do need to make sure that you're over the years of 21. Very straightforward. And then, yes, any major changes that you guys experience, please let us know. We can always get that updated for you, but very straightforward. The most important thing is just making sure that you're maintaining your units. So sometimes we do have some students that are a little nervous that a bad grade could affect their GPA. It is still imperative that you maintain those 12 units. If you drop below that unit requirement, you're not maintaining your status, and we will need to terminate your record. So it's very, very important that you maintain, if you're an undergraduate student, 12 units, or for my graduate students, your 8 units. Okay. So while you guys are here on campus, you will have the opportunity to work on or off campus. For my F1 students, you guys have the ability to start working on campus as soon as you have your programs activated. So as soon as you turn in your check-in documents and you receive the notification that we have activated your student record, you are free to engage in any work as long as it is on campus. You can go ahead and connect with the career services to start that work. For my J1 students, we can still start working on campus within your first year, but it's a little bit different for your guys' visa type. You guys will need authorization before you start working on campus. So go ahead and make sure you connect with us before you start engaging in any work. For off-campus work, a little bit different. You do need to meet some eligibility requirements. To qualify for off-campus work, you will need to be enrolled on campus for 1 consecutive year. And that could be any combination of our 3 quarters, whether it's fall, winter, spring, summer, so on and so forth. But once you meet that eligibility, you will have the ability to start working off campus with an employer. The program that we have for our international students for our F1 international students wanting to work off campus while they're still actively pursuing their degree is known as CPT, Curricular Practical Training. When you graduate, it's called OPT, Optional Practical Training. They're both serve the same purpose. CPT, you do need to have an employer set up before you start engaging with work. For OPT, it's a little bit different. We do understand that you guys have been working really hard towards completing your degrees, so some of you have not had the opportunity to set up an employer yet. But through the OPT process, there's ample time to secure employment while applying for the application. You don't need to have an employer to apply. And after you are approved, USCIS, they will give you 90 days of unemployment to still look for a work position before uh, uh, after you're authorized. Past the 90 days, we will have to cancel the program, so it is important that you find that work within the 90 days. For those of you graduating that are on the rocks about how you will start working or you're still looking for employment, go ahead and connect with us. We can also go through some plans with you guys to make sure that you're getting enough time for job searching. For my J1 students, we have the same opportunity for you guys, but we call it academic training. For it's a little bit different. You guys are pulling from the same pool with academic training, unlike CPT and OPT. With academic training, you guys can do pre-academic training while you're still currently studying for your academic program, and we have post-academic training for you after you graduate. That is determined on your visa, sorry, not your visa type, your study type. So whether you're a non-degree seeking student or a degree seeking student, and also what level of study you're at, whether you're a bachelor, master, or PhD. Go ahead and connect with us once you guys are graduating. We can go ahead and let you know exactly how long you qualify for work permissions. A little bit different for you guys. I am expecting to have a couple more F1 students here, but please let me know if you do have any other questions. We'll go ahead and address that towards the end. And here we are, so we can start addressing questions. Yes, Javon, do we have any questions set up?